Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been golden when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reviews not falling for the FOMO. Listening to coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in shoes. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. Had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain GM. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't done so, do us a favor, drop us a GM in the chat down below, then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It does warm up the algo and does us a solid. You'll also find up there linked is the YouTube chat, the abstract chat, go stack XP and all those spots. I need to update the title on the abstract chat. I just noticed I can't get it to refresh on my end for some reason either. Hopefully the stream is working live for those of you out there. I see Machiavelli in the abstract chat, and Steve will get to the rest of our GMs here in a second. But as always, I'm Captain, my co-host Steve. Nerdy financial advice on this show. Crypto is risky, NFTs are risky, meme coins exception risky. Go to zero to moments notice. Please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. Know that Steve and I hold tokens we'll talk about from time to time here on the show, including hype. It's another happy hype all-time high day. Markets are green across the board. Things are ripping. It's going to be a fun morning. We do need a guest speaker. If someone wants to come up on the stage and test something real quick, if anyone out there just needs someone to pop up, I want to make sure that all the chats can hear you this morning. I think we've got our audio issues resolved. Hopefully, GM Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM, yeah, I'm playing around on the abstract chat, and it's just not refreshing. And I wonder if it's an abstract issue or if it's an us issue. Because I see nothing.
Yeah, when I click refresh, it says offline. Tips are working though, Von Front. Appreciate you, sir. The tips are working, the chats are working. The video feed does seem to be offline, however.
Yeah, no, GM. No, man. Doing well. Man.
Oh, never mind. I see I see the issue. Did
you not hit go live?
No, I did, but I sent it to your stream instead of mine. Just clicked the wrong button. But let's update this and try again. Man, there. Maybe not. It's couldn't have everything. We got audio, I think, working. Of course, I had to click a misclick to get the video not working on abstract, but appears to be live now. So we will see. Maybe it lags a little bit. Maybe we don't have abstract video today. If so, my apologies, but it is pointing to the proper oh, there we are. We're live. We are back in live writing on proper on abstract for everyone over there working now. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate y'all. Just took a little bit of troubleshooting. And before we let Steve get into his full intro, Machiavelli GM, thanks for popping up. You want to give us a quick audio check? Everyone in abstract and YouTube, let us know if you can hear Machiavelli's beautiful.
Yo, testing. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, you beautiful people.
One of one. It's a one of one voice. I can hear you loud and clear on my end. Abstract chat and YouTube, let us know if you could hear Machiavelli there when you get a moment. And if so, yes, can hear, says Thomas in the abstract chat. Thank you. And Von Frunton says we got him over in YouTube. Steve sent me a baggie. Steve sent me a baggie yesterday. This little thing here carried a pretty important little device that has been the bane of my existence over the last several weeks. Went through 10 plus adapters. If you ever are having an issue with a wired connection on a Rodecaster in an older iPhone that has lightning to audio or the aux cable, know that you have to use an OEM aux cable. Even if it says it's MFI made for iPhone, if it's aftermarket, they do not work. I not even exaggerating. I tried double digits from multiple different vendors, and none of them they work.
That's wild.
They work regularly they work fine if like you use it as like you use the aux in your car or something. They work fine for everything except the Rodecaster, and the OEM ones. If you can still find them, the OEMs work perfectly fine, but Apple stopped selling them. So if this aux cable goes bad, I will have no choice, I think, other than to go ahead and upgrade the iPhone finally.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time anyway. You should probably upgrade the iPhone.
Waiting for the new ones drop next week, so I've been holding out. I don't know if the new one's going to be anything. What I really am looking forward to is supposed to get announced this week is the new AirPods with live translation. It's not like I even travel that internationally that often to really need it. It's just cool, and the tech geek in me wants them. So yeah, new iPhones coming. Would be wild if it's the same day as rate cuts. Might be. I'm not sure the exact announcement day, but it's coming in September for sure. At least the announcement rather, and probably phones drop a couple weeks following.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that's a cool feature. I think my Meta glasses might do that, although I bought Meta glasses then promptly pretty much never use them. So it's just I bought them and they look really ridiculous on me as opposed to if I just gotten the sunglasses, which would have been smarter. But yeah, the AirPods will be nice to get as well. I'll definitely get a pair of those because I have 3 pairs of AirPods and one of them is a little bit long in the tooth, a few years old. So probably about time to replace them. But G and everyone out there, Joey Valles, Mel, Art, Ask Invest in the chat, Von Frunton, Machiavelli as well. Thanks for jumping up here. Law of the Saw, Dwayne, Chief, Boo, always out there every single morning. Diablito, appreciate y'all hitting the GMs, Thomas, everybody else. So yeah, so we do have. It turns out it's OEM cables. Glad you're able to get that. But no, man. Honestly, like dragging a little this morning. I realized I have a Starbucks problem, so I stopped. I'm going to try to get myself to go to Starbucks less because I'm just going to spend a fortune there. I just drink like their black coffee. I think they have good black coffee. I like it. And so dragging a little this morning on the homemade coffee. It's not doing the trick quite as much, but other than that, just yeah, I mean, good day for the market. Woke up, green markets. Things are cooking. Liquidity pools are pumping and printing all sorts of fees. We're doing airdrop farming. We got OpenSea talking about they're going to give TGE details next month. So it looks like they're finally prepping some stuff there. We got a new OpenSea, sort of the final version before TGE, I think they said, coming up in about a week. So that's good. But give us a like, a retweet, a comment on the room as we get everything going. Always appreciate when people do that. But yeah, Cap, I don't know. Market, again, I keep saying it. We see some pumps in some alts. The majors, they chop. We'll talk maybe a little rates this morning because there's an interesting discussion in the war room. I think when we get too much time on our hands in crypto, we just find reasons to spin around narratives. Like in the war room yesterday, it was I heard the following things. And I know we're jumping right into it, but it's like, give us a like, a retweet, a comment in the room so we can get it going. But I heard 1, rate cuts are fully priced in. I heard 2, 25 bips is priced in, but 50 would send us. I heard 3, 50 would be bearish, 25 would be bullish. The consensus is always wrong. So I'm a little worried about that because the consensus seems to be excited about rate cuts. But like, I feel like a month ago, we were like, hey, rate cuts are going to be really bullish. And now I'm seeing people say rate cuts are not going to do anything. So I feel like we just kind of like look for reasons to play with our food on a regular basis. And I don't know, like, I'm just going to play the market how I play the market. But, I don't know, like everyone's like, this is baked in. This isn't baked in. I don't know. I'm just going to play the market, but it's funny. Like, I feel like we just like look for reasons to like, you can just say things.
Yeah. I don't think they're not fully priced in. Maybe to some degree, maybe it's what we're seeing now with this pump this week, but I do not think they're priced in at all. And I think we are starting to send as they're starting to get priced in. And I do think that 1 or 2, 25 or 50, I think we level up. It's just my take. I don't know. I'm not that smart, but yeah, it seems like rate cuts are inevitable at this point. They're starting to get priced in, and I think all season has officially arrived.
Yeah, it looks like it. Wrecked up. We'll do daily market update, but I see wrecked up. I see Pengu up. I see, the Hyperliquid jumping a ton. I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin and ETH. I don't know if they're waiting for rate cuts. The numbers are numbering there. Like, they seem like they should be doing better, but not really getting much going with those either, which is kind of a bizarre thing where it's like, I understand like alts run and a lot of obviously ETH has run up, but in the past, 6 months or so, but I don't know, like ETH has run up in the past 6 months or so, but like Bitcoin has not. And I do wonder what we're sitting at from a price perspective. I think in April, I believe it was April 8th, we've talked about it in the show before, ETH was $1,400.
Yeah, Bitcoin's up huge then too. I mean, I'm not tracking the timeline because Bitcoin's up 30% in the last 6 months. It's not up.
Sorry, three. Let me look. 3 months. I feel like it was flat in like 3 months. Yeah, like I was looking. Sorry, I was looking at like a 3 month time frame. So in let me look at my chart that I was looking at. Also, Bitcoin up a ton since that moment I mentioned on ETH too for that period of time. It's sort of like Bitcoin. I think it's just sort of like in the past 3 months, sort of like we've seen a little bit more choppiness, I guess, in those as the indicators have been really positive. So like Bitcoin was 109K 3 months ago. It's 112K today. I don't know. It feels like when other things are sending, it feels like more ones should be doing stuff. Whereas like ETH in the past 3 months, 2,700 to 4,300. So ETH played a little bit of catch up, but it feels like Bitcoin has been super, super choppy compared to like, I don't know, maybe it's just recency bias, but Solana feels like it's up quite a bit. Yeah. Solana up 164 to, 218 in the past 3 months. It just feels like in the past 90 days, Bitcoin's been super choppy. And it's just interesting because the numbers all justify that going well. Like ETH the past couple of months, the numbers would justify, hey, things are going really well. Like, and it's been an interesting little choppy period of time for those, I guess. Like Bitcoin like sitting at 112, like it just feels like people are buying, ETFs are getting bought, more people are getting invested in it, and the price isn't jumping. So I don't know if these rate cuts will make a big difference there or what.
Maybe. I think it's just normal cycle things. Bitcoin goes first and hopefully it still has some run from here. I also think I've said a few times, I think there's a magnet at this 100K mark and it's really not broken out of that range yet where those who aren't here view it as, oh, I'm not late. I still think we're still close enough to 100K that outside of the institutions, the strategic reserve entities, I don't know as if Sally and Bob in their 401ks are waking up yet to Bitcoin. I think they're chalked it off. Oh, we were late to that. My 401k is up 15% this year. I don't need to make any moves. My head, I think it's like 120, 125k. Maybe it's not to 150, but I do think at some point the price moves far enough away from 100k where the normies just, they don't feel as if they're late anymore. They start believing the narrative that Bitcoin to 1 million as opposed to Bitcoin to 100k. And yeah, I could be completely off on that. It's just a personal thesis, but I think there is some sort of psychological barrier here, psychological magnet to 100k, and I think it probably continues to just grind up slowly, chops a little bit, and if we get a big, maybe it is rate cuts where you get a big pop. It's just the other thing. I do think it's impacting everyone outside of crypto and institutions. Is all markets are ripping now. There's just people aren't looking for a safe haven. They're not looking for another asset class when gold's at all-time high and traditional equities are up and to the right. Like, it's just, I think several dynamics, but if you think about just the tailwinds and where we're at, man, insanely bullish. I mean, NASDAQ basically came out yesterday. They're bringing markets on chain. Like, there was a good, I didn't listen to the whole thing yet, but a good interview from the CEO of NASDAQ on the All In Pod. I think they did a summit or something recently, and often they'll chop up those interviews as a full podcast. And I mean, they don't specifically say crypto throughout the thing, but basically the entire interview is about bringing the markets on chain. Like, it's insane, man. Like, all the stuff we talked about for years is finally happening. It just hasn't fully happened yet. And she kept using, instead of 365, 24/7, 365 or 24/7, she kept using 24/5, meaning their first phase, when they do bring all these assets on chain, will be trading 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, still closing it down on the weekend. I don't know how they're going to do that or what the actual mechanics are there. Again, I haven't listened to the full episode, but I mean, it's imminent. It sounds imminent that they are going. And you're talking, again, the NASDAQ that has the top 7 companies in the world. It's not just she shared, when she took over as CEO, they were generating about $2 billion in revenue. Last year, their EBITDA was north of 2 billion. Like, this is a very profitable entity that has their hands in not just NASDAQ, but hundreds of markets globally. And they're bringing everything on chain. Like, it's just the stuff that seemed like pipe dreams as recent as like 2021, 2022 seemingly is coming to fruition. And I don't, outside of our space, I don't see others like waking up to it yet. So I think part of that, like, as far as Bitcoin and Chop, like, I think it's been on an incredible run. And I also don't know with, some of I do think there's been some whale games. I do think some of the liquidations we've seen potentially have been, I don't even know if manipulated is the right word, but I think there's been some stuff going on with price action that's not fully organic, and from Bitcoin and ETH and others, I'm sure. But I think just, as far as Bitcoin ripping, going first, and then we had ETH churn. I think now I still hope there's more room to run for Bitcoin and ETH, because that means the cycle is just going to go longer. But if they're done, if they've topped here, we should have at least 12 months of all season ahead of us, 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, it's just one where it's like I keep waiting for. I mean, with the NASDAQ one, I'll be curious how they build, because it's like, are they going to build fully on chain on their own blockchain? Are they going to build on an L2? Like, what are they going to do with that? So I'll be curious to see what NASDAQ says about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to make heads and tails, and maybe I'm just getting impatient with the market, but it's like, when Bitcoin shot up to 125, it felt like we were on a trajectory straight to 200. Like, it just did. Like, I know we said, like, we kind of said like 120,000 felt like a sort of watermark to say, like, okay, we've kind of hit, crossed that number, but felt like we were in really good shape to shoot straight to, Like we were ready to go straight up, and it's been kind of choppy. And when all things are up, like, I actually think it's the opposite. I think when things are going well, whether it's in the S&P or otherwise, people start looking for the other opportunities that exist in the market. And right now, crypto is a strong opportunity that exists within the market if there are infrastructures that are going to survive long term. Motto, by the way, Motto in the abstract chat. Yes, other pages down for maintenance should be coming up during the show. We're keeping an eye on that. If it doesn't come up during the show, we'll give you a double code tomorrow. There is a badge that has been minted for today. So once it's back up, we can let you know.
What's also kind of amazing is I just pinned several posts from NASDAQ and some retweets. It's kind of mind-blowing, man. If you think about this app, this is a quick digression, so excuse me. I mean, they're definitely not the hugest account on X, but the official NASDAQ account has 152,000 followers. So it's basically the same reach as Thread Guy. They get like 11 likes a post. Like, it's kind of insane, man. Like, they get zero traction on, not zero, but as close to zero as possible for an account that's got 150,000 followers. It's kind of mind-blowing. Like, they need to hire a new intern.
Two things on that. One, it makes me worry about X a little bit as far as my, personal brand being so heavily tied to this goes, because I've talked about I need to have platform diversification, just something I don't have a lot of time for. But that's a worrisome thing, because X is not, like, if NASDAQ is not doing well on X, it means nobody cares about NASDAQ on X. So, or I should say nobody in the traditional finance world is coming here to check it. So that's not great as far as that goes. So bearish X when I see NASDAQ not doing well in there, but 150K followers is not very many for something that big. So that's another bizarre thing. But I don't know. I got Motto in the chat saying, what are our 5-year targets for Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol? I have an answer, but Cap, I'm curious. Do you have a 5-year target on Bitcoin, ETH, and or Sol?
I don't still think in such timelines. $1 million Bitcoin, and then equal ratio, pro rata the rest out. I don't up a lot higher than they are today. That's my answer.
Yeah, my timeline is HODL is what it is. I just, those are three that feel like it feels like Bitcoin and ETH have made it. It feels like Sol is on the way. It feels like Hyperliquid is making a really big play. I still think
I would be more thinking about where's Hyperliquid in 5 years, because that's like, if we get $1 million Bitcoin, what is it? Like, I'm using really, really round numbers here. $1 million Bitcoin, $50,000 ETH, $2,000 Solana. Does that sound right? $2,500 Solana. Hyperliquid at 5K. No, 500.
Yes, that would be a 10x Hyperliquid at 500 from here. So that would be a big number for a lot of people who are holding a lot.
Also, speaking of holding and forced holding, sometimes procrastination plays well. Sometimes procrastination is the right move. Not to get ahead of our daily market update, but do you know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah, I saw the post in the war room. I'll let you. I won't steal your thunder.
Yeah, I shared on the show. I unstaked my Kaido a little over a week ago. Certainly plan to rotate that out into something else. It's up 30% on the day. Just an absolute ripper. I don't know why. I have no idea why. And did we know what caused this candle yesterday? I mean, it's down a little bit, but it touched 152 up from $1.06.
No, I don't know. I had sold at one point relatively, like I don't know, I probably sold at like 150, I want to say, or so. So I did sell on the way down there, but there isn't anything indicating today that
all season. That's what it is. That's it. Is the only thing I can tell is now Hyperliquid. There's certainly other news. We talked a little bit about the stable coin.
Oh, here's your answer. I got your answer right here. Why it's up. Ready? Here's your answer.
Oh, TGE season is upon us. Okay.
Don't know what it means, but it sounds like
Provocative. Gets people going.
maybe another. I mean, it's funny because
Kaido second airdrop. Is that the what you're just thinking other TGEs are going to get rewarded for the holders and stakers?
I mean, it's hard to know what you's trying to say here, but
it launched on Upbit. Okay, that makes sense. Upbit's probably I did see must have been Whale posted about Upbit and the liquidity there and the volume, and mentioned it's the best exchange to get listed on. So that does connect as well, is just additional liquidity pouring in.
yeah, I don't think it's that though that sent it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
A tremendous amount of more
right,
volume
but like
there than everywhere else combined.
But I think the CEO saying TGE season is upon us is probably more a reason why people are holding and staking Kaido. No, I mean like maybe there's an indicator that happened. I don't know. Like if we want to specifically, if there's other, I don't know. I'm not familiar with Upbit, but if people want to,
I mean, it's not tier one in the sense of Binance Coinbase, but it's a big, you can see here. I mean, there was almost 4x the amount of volume on Upbit since they got listed over Binance. Liquidity strong. You can just like the from Binance, BitHub, OKX, BuyKing, I've never even heard of, and MEX. I can't add up all those numbers in my head, but it looks like Upbit trumped them all in terms of 24-hour volume. And listings still matter. I mean, speaking of, like, I woke up this morning, first thing I thought about is what plays am I making with Ape today? Like, I'm sending some Ape to Solana. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with it. Probably need to tap into your Meteora playbook, because I'm really excited. I think I'm really impressed with the Ape Chain team, with what Simple and Farmer and crew are doing over there, and they're making good moves. And not that it's going to send it up 42% in a day, but when they get access to new fresh liquidity, it can be a big boom in with price action. And now it could go the other direction as well, people selling off, opening shorts, etc. But I think listings still matter, especially when there is liquidity there that wants to get exposure to these assets.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the Kaido jump is probably, I'd have to check the time, is tied to their CEO talking about airdrops, just because that tends to be really what gets people going. Although I will say, Billy
Bet's up 69% on the week after crushing NFL. By the way, finished last night, week 1, 8-2 on my first week. Not betting huge dollar amounts. Like my unit size is $10 to $20 a bet, but up 8-2 on week 1, and the fact that it's automated, it has me freaking giddy, man. Like, you want to talk about passive income? How about set a strategy for your sports betting strategy and just let the robots take the wheel? It's not just because Bunchy's a friend. It's not just because I like sports and sports betting. This is the future, man. Like, this is the future. Like, we are so close to automating so many aspects of our life. We're so close to markets becoming insanely efficient. It's happening now, and it just feels good that we get a front row seat with Billy and what it's doing in the sports betting streets. Now, could it go 2-8 next week? Sure, but the other thing I don't do, Steve, is because I'm not deep in the sports betting streets. I don't have, like, I'm not out there hunting lines. I'm not out there getting, Monday night as soon as things post. I'm not firing shots to, where I think there's value in lines. I already have 3 open bets this week for next Sunday's games. I never do that. I'm just, because I'm not deep in the sports betting streets. My angle there is player takes and DFS and best ball and battle royales. And it's not nearly as time sensitive as some of the, as betting lines and in those markets are. So yeah, I'm early, very, very early. It's only 1 week, but as I mentioned earlier, like, it adds to my entertainment value. Like, Saturdays are more enjoyable now because I'll pay attention to more things than just the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think it's just that, like, that's obviously a huge, like, that obviously is huge. But then, like, I also look at, like, you talk about DeFi when what you're thinking about doing with Ape, which similarly, I'm in a kind of a similar boat. I'm considering I need to actually make some plays. And by the way, we'll let people know, other page relaunched as OpenPage. So new branding, op.xyz. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go. But congrats to them on launching. Although interesting, I got to figure out if our badges are live. Somebody figured out the codes already too. It was just also funny on our other OpenPage just launched I don't know 5 minutes ago, and there's already 2 people who have claimed the badge before me. So people getting out there.
We need some Billy Betts gifts. If bunch of you're hearing me, I'm trying to drop a Billy Betts gif, and I'm not finding them in the X search. We need to boost those gifts.
Yeah, man. I would say I agree. Automated everything is important. Like I said, I mean, there's active things you want, like my active diet and health plan that I'm having right now, with where I have my ChatGPT talking me off a ledge when I'm having cravings, also giving me seasonings and things I can make in my house that make it better.
Also, real quick, go right back to your health talk, but on the Bitcoin lag, now's definitely not the time to be selling your Bitcoin. If you've just been frustrated, it hasn't been continuing to rip up. Yesterday, the Bitcoin ETF had their biggest day of the past month, 364 million in net inflows. Meanwhile, ETH continued its 6-day outflow streak with 96 million in net outflows. The Strategic Reserve website still really strong, but at least as far as the ETFs are concerned, it went from big time Bitcoin to big time ETH, and now over the past week, for the month of September, it has shifted from ETH back to Bitcoin. And I could be wrong, but typically price lag. So the Bitcoin trade might be right back on. See, this is Ether. You can see since August 29th, it's done nothing but went out. Bitcoin going the other direction. We do have now Bitmine's quietly approaching 10 billion in their ETH reserve, 8.9 billion to be exact. SharpLink Gaming lagging behind at 3.6. The Ether Machine, 2.5. ETH Foundation just under $1 billion because they keep selling tops. But yeah, the ETHZilla also making big moves here. They're the ones that announced, I think, going after a $5 billion raise. They've increased their stack 25% in the last month. But yeah, you can see here there's FG Nexus. Most of the other on this leaderboard, minus a few, it's like the three big boys, ETHZilla making their charge. Everyone else on here just kind of sitting flat on their ETH bags, and the ETFs are going the other direction. So take that, for what it's worth. I don't know, but yeah, could be the Bitcoin trade might be on, Steve.
I think it's one of those ones where I think I do think that at some point, we'll be like, oh yeah, whoops, we should have just kept buying and holding Bitcoin. That always seems to be the case. It always seems to catch people. So maybe this is it. I don't know, but I was just gonna say, related to what you're what you were saying earlier. I mean, as far as the automation with Billy Betts and things, it's there's some things you want to actively manage, like the way I actively manage sort of health and wellness with my, a bot. In that case, I want to talk back and forth with someone. I want to get feedback. I want to have a conversation. I want to go into voice mode, things like that. When it comes to things like my DeFi strategy, I want to be paying attention to it because it's the game I like to play. But man, last night's an interesting example where I know we'll talk about the hack and all that situation, but I wasn't signing transactions or doing anything. It would have been really nice to just automate that. When certain things hit a certain point in the range, take it, rebalance, and redeploy. Because on Hyperliquid, I had 2 things go out of range last night, which is fine. I collected a ton of fees in 24 hours on some of the Project X pools I was doing. But I know people have talked about it, but it's a set it and forget it DeFi strategy would be really nice on certain platforms where I could just actively manage LPs and just have it loop around. And I'm sure some people are doing it, but
yeah, you can. I can't remember the name of there are some AI agents that do this for you today. I just can't remember the names of them. I haven't done it myself.
Yeah. By the way, maybe we'll do daily market update here in a second, then we'll hit the announcements. I'll kind of throw to you for what you got on your list, but op.xyz/claim is the new page. So the other page is moving to open page. Is their new handle. So it's op.xyz/claim CWC99. CWC99 is your code. So get out there, go claim the badge. CWC99. Again, second last week. Next week will be the final week to do it. But op.xyz/claim CWC99 should get you done on there. So go claim your badges. Get going on that. I think we had a lower day yesterday, which is good. I'm going to actually keep it that way because I want our friends and family here to be most entered in the full sets. So jump on. I think we only had 118 claims yesterday, but op.xyz/claim, and you want.
Oof. Lost Steve. We got a frozen Steve. Hopefully pops back on here in a sec. If not, we'll run into a daily market update. You will have to log in, re-log in, accept terms and conditions on the new site. Again, that's op.xyz/claim. Code is CWC99.
Want to see.
Lost you again. Check now. I think you're back. Unfrozen.
Yeah, the people were supposed to have fixed my internet, but it seems like maybe that did not happen properly. So I was actually texting Dawn and being like, time to change. Like the guy who came was really nice, and it looks like maybe they fixed it because it looked like they had done something to the box out front. But
that squirrel's out there pissing on it again.
Well, like they had put like a new top on it, and it looks like they did something out there. But I'm over it with them because it sounds like they had I thought they had fixed it for us, and apparently maybe not. So internet is still being a problem. But anyway, go claim your other your not other page, open page badge as they've changed it.
New logo and all. New site works in this is Quexar QAXER in the chat. Says new site works in my country without VPN finally. So yeah, if you've had to use VPN previously, you should be in the clear now. Good
stuff. Good stuff. Good news. But Cap, actually, let's just do daily market update because I think that's going to dovetail into a lot of our conversations today.
Cool.
All right. It's fine.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on 8chain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, Feds Alpha, never miss a beat. 8chain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, these now what's next? Come on, my head top, but you want the time, the chop pump for one time.
It's time for the daily market update powered by ApeCoin, the home of NFTs. ApeChain has it all, bringing culture, fun, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. Cap.
Yeah, it is not pictured on the Coinbase 50 leaders yet. But as we mentioned, hype up another 5-6% on the day to a new all-time high once again. So another happy all-time hype day for those who celebrate. Bitcoin up 1% to 112,621. ETH up 1% to 43.49. XRP up 2%, broke $3 again. Solana up 2% to 217. Little ApeCoin pump today. Doge up 6%. Cardano up 4%. Heading up to memes. Shiba up 3%. Pepe up 6%. Meme Core up 18%. Pingu up 7%. Bonk up 7%. Rect also on a ripper today. The memes, the alts are green. You love to see it. Open Ledger, new TGE, continues to do well, up 127%. WorldCoin up 58% on the day after I think there was a strategic reserve announcement there. And heading to our favorite NFTs, Milady's down 2% to losing 2 at 1.98. Zuki basically flat at 1.75. Doodles down 2% to 0.79 on the Lucky Charm or Fruit Loops announcement. Excuse me. Sorry. That's going to get the Doodles upset with me. Jesus, Steve. They're going to hate me now because I don't care about Fruit Loops and their fake dyes and stuff. But I digress. Already getting off the tracks. Little Pudgy's down up 4% to 1.28. No idea what Ether Checker license is, but does seem to be legitimate with 307 sales, totaling 46 ETH in volume, 0.1415 on the floor. If anyone's familiar with that, let us know in the chat. I don't even know. I mean, did get even a bigger pump, sold back a little bit. Just again, no idea what this is, but looks like a new chain. I don't know because it's not the ETH symbol next to it. Anyways, Mutants up 3% to 1.4. Pudgy's up 2% to 10.49. Moonbird's up 3% to 2.95. And we have an announcement coming Thursday. It looks like something physicals. Moonbird's also got another claim for holding yesterday. Some diamonds on some. I didn't follow it. I don't know if Mythic Supply are eligible or not, but if so, I need to get on that today. I just basically took the day off of, and I know yesterday I did say I was going to send out the ape. I'm good to go. I just wasn't going to risk it yesterday with the hack that appears to be a big nothing burger, but he had some pretty respected devs saying don't touch anything, don't do any transactions on chain. So this is resolved. So I just listened and took no action yesterday on chain. But as far as I can tell, everything is back to normal, and the hacker made out with like $68. And last but not least, apes up 2% to 9.25, and there was a 100K trippy sale overnight as well. Love to see the grails going for grail prices. Steve, that's our daily market update brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain on top, the home of Other Side, the home of our badge collecting challenge with OpenPage. And while ApeChain is on top, you can pick up some of that sweet ape on Solana today and earn some extra fees over there. I'm expecting more announcements probably to come out. I don't know if it's going to be all in one or trickled out today, but expecting some additional announcements from the ApeChain team today. Steve, back to you.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, like, it's exciting stuff for ApeChain, and I noticed that the Moonbirds were up a little bit. Trying to get back to the studio so I can, here we go, share screen. Said TGE season's upon us. Think we're getting some burb TGE finally? I mean, it's looking like Thursday. If this is not a TGE announcement,
no way it's TGE announcement. I don't think.
So
maybe they announced it, but it's definitely not. I mean, I would be shocked. I think they're a little ways out still would be my guess.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's just, what do you think it's looking like Thursday means, and how do we feel about these market games? Like, I feel like people are really sensitive around TGEs. Like, OpenSea flat out said TGE coming, TGE, last phase of the TGE update next month, like, for sure. And I heard people getting frustrated with it, a handful of people, and it's like,
I speak for a lot of people. We're sick of the announcements of the announcements. I get it. I understand the why to do it. You need to get better. It goes for all of them. I mean, a lot of them just.
Well, that was my point about the Moonbirds one, though. To make the analogy, it's like, it's looking like Thursday. I don't know. Like, it's the same thing, right? Like, is it just like, is this tactic? Are we like done? Are we just over this tactic? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I guess I am. I don't. Just tell us the thing. It's just, even like OpenSea. I sent a bullish post. Was this their most bullish announcement ever yesterday? And I think I'm pretty safe in saying that because they haven't had too many bullish announcements. But even still, like, oh, we're going to launch more details next month. Well, why don't you just tell us the details now? They got to have most of them. Yeah, I just think the space is exhausted with announcements of announcements.
I mean, my guess with OpenSea in particular, I can't speak for Moonbirds, anybody else. My guess would be that they want to make sure everything's buttoned up for that. So it's like they probably are like, I mean, we know how this goes with the legal team. Sometimes they're like, yeah, like, want to make sure it's fully ready to go, like, yada, yada, yada. So I could see a world where it's like, it just is not quite ready to talk about all the details, and they're hammering some things out. And so, I could see a world where there's a reason why they're trying to do it, where they're trying to be like, look, we're launching this next phase. I mean, I think with OpenSea, I mean, I see, it's interesting. I mean, we can get to the OpenSea announcement in general here. I didn't see it as an announcement of an announcement the same way everybody else did. Like, to me, it was like, they're like, here's some things we're doing. Also, like, want to update on TGE because everybody constantly hits us with when TGE. This is the final phase. We're starting it in a week. And then, after that, we'll have a final, we'll give you an update next month on that. But this is the final phase. So, like, we basically got from the OpenSea announcement that, they basically talked about OpenSea Mobile and what that's going to look like. They talked about their flagship NFT collection. So they're actually creating a strategic NFT reserve, it sounds like, which is something that we've talked about being a thing that we want to see. They started with the CryptoPunk, which is awesome. They're using platform fees.
I didn't exactly reserve those. I understand it. Maybe I misread it, but not necessarily reserve. Rather, they're going to buy those NFTs and then use those as rewards to get back to the community. Is that?
So I got the impression they were both. So I got the impression that there is and I'll look back at the announcement to make sure that they acquired that CryptoPunk and they're anchoring a collection with historic pieces. So basically, and looking for emerging artists to elevate them. So I read two things in there. I think thing number one is that they're doing a flagship collection at OpenSea. and they're actually collecting the NFTs. And then 2, they're using a portion of the fees to go towards rewards, which will go back to people. They already have $1 million in Optimism and Arbitrum in there. And then you have sort of a starter treasure chest. You level up your treasure chest. So it's almost like a gamified video game where...
I agree with Dort. Like the 1 million doesn't get me excited at all. Like it's a drop in the bucket for them, and they probably it's not even their money. It sounds like they probably got Optimism and Arbitrum to fund it. That's nothing. Like, yes, they've already bought one CryptoPunk. That's basically a quarter of that $1 million. Way more important, I think, than the $1 million seed is 50% of revenues are going to go back to buying NFTs. It's a big deal. Now, what happens now? I think part of what I'm reading between the lines here. We're starting to see their playbook to how they make the token worthwhile, and not everyone runs to dump it on day one. I'm not sold that token buybacks are like some. They're very hot right now. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone thinks they should be doing it because of the success Hyperliquid's had. Hyperliquid's unique. It's not going to work for everyone. A lot of teams are going to buy tokens and they're just going to dilute the revenue because they're going to take $1 million and they're going to turn it into 200 grand because their token goes down 80%. But imagine, like, right, what they've announced is 50% of their revenues are going to NFT buybacks or NFT purchases, which, yes, the other side of this is they just increased their NFT fees. They doubled them. So I sly on them to slide that one in there. But my thought is, what happens if, in addition to spending 50% of revenues on NFTs that they're presumably going to give away, what if they take the other 50% or even the remaining 40% of the 50% and use it to buy back the C token? I mean, they have to have some sort of strategy. I hope they're working with a good token team because this stuff's important. And especially at launch, if that thing just gets, this is going to be one where it has the potential to be one of the largest, if not the largest liquidity event ever in crypto and Web3, certainly with NFTs. I think expectations are high. That said, they have to have some stuff at launch to encourage people to hold the token, to stake the token, to use the token, to let people know that, hey, we believe in this token so much, we're buying back the token. And I mean, it's starting to work a little bit, although it's not. I'd like to see it more, I guess, ironed out than Pump Fund seems to be doing their buybacks somewhat randomly. But that's kind of the dot I connected is, if they're going to spend 50% of their fees on buying back NFTs, they're almost certainly going to spend some of the revenue to buy back the token. No?
I would think so. I will say on a hot take, right back at the take, by the way, on the Dort one, it's like, I actually am like, I'm exhausted by this take towards OpenSea. I get it. Like, I understand people are like, look, like, we want TGE. You have to get this right. You get one shot at it, number one. Number two, they raked in a bunch of fees with a product that we all use because it was the safest, best option to use. Like, I'm not sure what we want them to do. Like, not make money, put all their money back into the token, put all their money back into the buying NFTs, put all their money back into sweeping everything and sending stuff up inorganically. Like, I just like, it's like this weird damned if you do, damned if you don't with them. It's like they said, like, look, we're putting a mobile app because we want to reach consumers because we're running a business. We are creating a strategic NFT reserve effectively, or creating our own collection here. We're starting with the CryptoPunk. We're going to buy some other collections. Like, would you rather OpenSea not buy the collections? Would you rather them not participate and not own these things? Like, I'm just like, it's like, and it's like, so just don't buy them.
I could be wrong. I just think that a lot of the frustrations are exhausted. They've drugged this thing out way too long. Yes, then they have one shot to get it right. But you got to realize, like, before the new team, like, this is something they've been teasing for years. And
not years. They talked about token like a year ago. C was only confirmed like in December, I want to even say. I want to say the first confirmation of C as a token was December. So years is not, like, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about like 9 months.
Maybe. I think a lot of us were led to believe a token was coming well before that.
By what? If someone can point me to the thing that led to believe that OpenSea was going to drop a token besides, like, that would be like saying MetaMask has been teasing a token for years. They haven't been. Like, if our expectations were a token, it's one thing. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure
February 2025, C was officially announced.
February 2025. So 6 months. So like did not drag it out for years. Like 6 months, people have just said token, token, token. So
I thought for certain we had a announcement from them saying token was coming before the end of the year last year.
no way. Before the end of the year? Like I'll double check. Maybe
it was announcement was coming before the end of the year. There was something we were expecting something before end of 2024. I was convinced of that. Maybe my brain is broken, but
Mesh says December is when they dropped the teaser hint. That was it. So in December they dropped a teaser, which is exactly what my memory recalled. So in December they dropped the teaser. They officially announced that something was coming in February. So I guess like again, I'm not like saying like I understand the perspective people are having, but it's like they've only officially confirmed a token for 9 months. They only officially announced the token was coming 6 months ago. And yeah, right. They tease it coming in December. Right. Like, but not like dropping in December. They teased C is coming. And so I don't know. Like, and we can find, if people can find the actual like tape on this. It's just, yeah, they made a lot of money using a product that was safe that we use to trade NFTs. Now they're buying back NFTs. They're sweeping NFTs to give away to the community. We complain about not getting business development from NFT brands, yet OpenSea's doing business development to put $1 million in rewards into their platform to give back to people on top of stuff. It's just like, I feel like people are just like, they want the token. I get it. I understand it. It's just, I do get a little tired of OpenSea's teasing us. Like, I understand your complaint, for example, you saying like, I'm tired of doing the $5 buys and the Ponzi buys just to pump volume. Like,
especially now that it's a 1% fee each one of them.
Right. Like, but that to me, that was legitimate feedback. Like when you were upset about that, I was like, look, I don't mind it. Like, I'm just not going to participate in certain NFT ones, but I understood your legitimate feedback. I understand you're upset about like, I did all this volume and use this thing. I don't want this rewards program to come in and just steal all my stuff. I understand all that, but it's like, we're upset that they're buying NFTs now. Like that's where we're at because they made money. Like if a company that made $400 million donated $1 million to charity, we'd be like, why are you only donating $1 million to charity, man? If you made $400 million, like that just doesn't track to me. Like I see that constantly where people are like, you made so much money, you did this. It's like, sure, they didn't even have to drop a token. They could have just said no token, right? It's like, and just never would have been there. But like, I don't know. Like, it's like, I get it. People want the token, but it's like, this thing's been going on for 6 months that they've guaranteed that they said the token's coming, 9 months since they announced that a token was even in the works. I think, and this is it. This is exactly, Tu Peterson nailed it. It's like MetaMask. We've been speculating it ourselves as degens forever, but it's not officially announced till recently. Like, and so I get it. It's just like, I think looking at the other side of it, sit yourself in OpenSea's shoes and be like, yeah, so we should just drop a token, watch it go to zero, not put a lot of effort into it, and that'll make people happy, but then they'll flood us into the ground for not managing a token properly. Or you create a system that actually rewards your users, which is what they're doing here, which, again, it's creative to me. So I think they're still doing the TGE, but they're doing a whole reward system that's going to drop NFTs, tokens, and other things to people based on usage of the site. Like, that's a loyalty rewards program. So I don't know. I'm just like, I found the video from OpenSea. It was November of last year, and I'm pretty sure we got news before this, but the official trailer in November of last year did say coming in December of 24. They made it sound as if the token was coming. What came in December was an announcement that we're going to do the token. But here it is. This is their official video from the OpenSea account. This is November 4th of 2024. December 2024 is set sail. Like, it's that's
new
not
new
wrong. Right. This video actually, November, that you just pulled up was the wait list for OpenSea 2. They said coming in December 2024, and on their official account, they said new OpenSea is coming 2022. This has nothing to do with the token. That was a set sail, join a wait list for OpenSea 2, which, if you got on that wait list, you also got a hefty amount of XP for actually using the platform. So that wasn't the token. So that's that's my point. Token was in 2024. They said we're going to have C. It's going to come, and then in February they said C, here's what's going to happen with C. And then I think that might have been, we'll go to Joey here in a second because I think he found it, but I think that would have been the Hollander article that said past, current, and rewards activity will all go into the token drop. So I think our perception in this space is that it's been dragged out forever because we've done that in our heads. But I just like, that's where it's like, I see stuff like this.
I found out who's to blame. Steve.
Who's that?
Our favorite hallucinating AI agent. OpenSea launching OS token with Gem Assist next month. Market liquidity actually makes sense this time, given how many wallets interacted in 2022, 2021. That was November 30th of 24.
So AIXBT decided we were launching it. This is how things happen, by the way. It's like when trade rumors happen in the NFL and then like the GM and the player are like, we don't know anything about that. It's like, that's what this is. So look, I get it. I understand people are looking for it. Like, people are allowed to feel however they want to feel. I'm not telling anybody how to feel. I just personally am like, man, like, it feels like everyone's like, they just delivered us they gave an announcement on their business. God forbid they talk about the fact that they're going mobile and what they're trying to do. God forbid they talk about like their business and like the OpenSea mobile platform built on AI, native trading experience, etc. They announced that they're buying a bunch of NFTs, which is like something we want companies to do, right? Like we're acting like that's bearish that they're spending $1 million on that. They announced $1 million in Optimism and ARB going into a rewards program and using their platform fees to buy NFTs and tokens that are going to go directly to people who have these chests for the final segment. And they said, they gave us this. They said, this is the last leg. They said, this is it. I believe that, I'll double check the answer, but I believe he said, this is the final stage. You will level up these chests and a C token update will come from the foundation next month. Like, in a vacuum. Am I crazy? Does that like, that's like you said, most bullish announcement on your quote tweet. Like, the only more thing we could ask for is if they actually were able to legally be able to do an announcement. But like, they talked about their business and some changes they're making as a business. I don't know. Like, I just get exhausted by this, the discourse sometimes on this stuff where it's like, I get it. People want the token. I want the token. Trust me, I want the token. I really want the token. I've got a lot of XP. I used a lot of volume. I'm going to get a chest that I'm going to level up. I'm going to play the whole game. I want the token. I want the abstract token. I want the Mega ETH token. I want the, every TGE under the sun that's going to come. I want all the tokens. I want the Katana token. I want all of them. But, I want all the hyper EVM tokens that we're getting. I want Kaido to do another airdrop. But like, is this really better than yet? Let me put it this way, and then we'll go to Joey. Like, or you can give me your pace. Like, the counter to this is Spencer saying, looking like Thursday, and you saying it's TGE season. And we get a long article detailing what OpenSea's doing, and everyone's like, Spencer, Chad, you, Kaido, fly it on the rumor, OpenSea. What the hell, man? You told us everything that's going on. I don't know. It's just frustrating. Joey Vowles, go ahead and get in here.
GM guys. Yeah, from what I found, the official announcement came February 13th, 2025, when they announced the public beta of OS2. That was like the official announcement of C. I think, so two things. First, I think that we as users have had in our mind this like, OpenSea should launch a token. How could they not launch a token? They're going to launch a token for probably 3 years now, but it's never really been official, right? Like, we've said they should do it, and it's created this like idea in our head that it's been talked about for so long, when really the only people that have been talking about it is us. Because we want it so bad, because of everybody else. And then the second thing I'm going to say is, let's look at like the other platforms that launched tokens and how poorly they were launched. Like, we talk about how poorly Magic Eden has handled their token launch with like, how do you earn more token, and how do you use the token, and how do they keep the price up, and blah blah blah. And we look at like Blast and Blur, and like how people don't even talk about like earning Blur anymore, and what they're spending it on. And I think like if OpenSea was smart, which I'm assuming they are, is they're looking at how poorly, and I'm not trying to be critical of Blur and Magic Eden, but the reality is it hasn't gone well for them. But like how poorly it went with Magic Eden and Blur, because they didn't have syncs and usages and all these things that we want, so that way the token doesn't go to zero. So they're probably taking their time to figure out, like, what did they do wrong? What can we do the opposite of? How can we reward, et cetera, et cetera? Because like you said, Cap, like 10 minutes ago, this is probably the biggest event, the biggest token drop in the NFT space of all time. So if that's truly what you believe, and I think that's what you said, we could listen to the back. If you truly believe that, then why would you want them to rush?
I'm not saying it's going to be. I'm saying it could be. I don't know if it will be, but it very well could be. I mean, they've got the user base. The token should open at a decent valuation if they don't fumble the drop. And I don't want them to rush. I feel the same with Spencer. I don't like the announcement of the announcements. It's drawn out, and with OpenSea's case, 9 months is still a long time. Like, I believe they know the details. They're just playing the announcement of the announcement game, and I just, that was the most thing I heard in terms of any pushback or frustrations was yeah, I did see people mention the $1 million is not much for all that they've raked in. I agree. I don't think I mean, they also said it's not going to stop there. It's going to be 50% of all revenues, which is, I believe, way bigger than $1 million. But the other resounding feedback I saw on the timeline was, why not just give us the TG details now instead of announcing that you're going to announce them in October? And yes, does it take legal to sign off on? Yeah, but again, they've had 9 months to get those ducks in a row.
I'm going to kind of go on Steve's side here, which I didn't take this as an announcement of an announcement. I took this as, like, this is our roadmap, our business plan, what we're going to execute for the next 6 months, 3 months, 6 months and beyond. So that way you guys can see what the plan is. No offense to Spencer, but, and I'm a fan, obviously I hold some ethics, but his tweet the other day of, like, something's coming this week or whatever he said, like, this is going to be a big week or something. That's an announcement of an announcement. That's literally the definition of one. So I don't know why he would be critical of OpenSea's post, which actually gives details to the plan versus what he said. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think one is far worse than the other. Like, if you're talking about an announcement of an announcement.
Like, they can say whatever they want to say. I think they're also in different spots. One is a founder, one is a brand account. I think it's, none of it matters. It's all just something for people to talk about for 24 hours, and then we'll forget about it tomorrow when something else drops.
Yeah,
I think OpenSea is. I think OpenSea is. And on the buyback token thing, I don't think buying tokens back is the right strategy for somebody like OpenSea. I think they need to build out actual, like, rewards and use cases and syncs for their token. I just don't see how them buying back tokens makes sense. I understand the 50% going back into a strategic NFT reserve, because I think I look at it like the same way we look at what's happening in the collectible space with strategic reserves, right? People are starting to buy up, and we saw this in the fine art space. People are starting to buy up things that they believe are stored value that they can hold for 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 years, and the price is going to continue to go up. So it makes sense for them to have a strategic reserve of NFTs that they believe are a good stored value. So I love that they're doing that. What they're going to do with the other 50%, I mean, as a small business owner, I hope they make money. If they don't make money, then why would they continue to build, and why would they continue to expand on what they're already doing? So they need to make money. Anybody who complains about them making money, right, like, is anti-capitalist. So I don't think they need to spend all of the money they make on stuff, but I also don't think, I do think they're going to come up with creative ways for their token outside of just a basic buyback. That just seems too basic for OpenSea. If after all this, they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to buy back more token to hold the price up. I'd be disappointed if that's all they came up with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to come up with out of the whole thing. I just think, I mean, my take is that the Web3 community is they want an airdrop because they want to make money. They don't care about the actual business, and that's fine. But like, I think a business announcement where you talk about like you have very clear things where it's this is an announcement of an announcement. It's an announcement. Like the thing that people care about is they want free money. I get it. But then being like, hey, we're really excited to announce our mobile app. We're really excited that we're going to start buying NFTs for us to own as a company. And we're going to use a bunch of fees to buy NFTs to reward people for our final stage. Oh, and you don't have to wait much longer. It's a final stage. We're working through this thing. We'll give another announcement next month. Like that seems like a very reasonable drop. It's just seeing that. And like I said, like seeing like the take, like the person drop where they're like, oh, they earned 400 million and they're only doing 1 million on this. It's just like, I don't know. It's like businesses just aren't allowed to make money. They're not allowed to make money.
They don't have to do anything. Why can't we be grateful that they're doing 1 million?
Right. Well, that's my point. Like they don't have to buy any NFTs. They don't have to put the marketplace fees towards anything. Like they don't have to drop a token. It's funny to me. It's like businesses in Web3 aren't allowed to make money unless they're the ones that people really, really like. And then it's okay. But like they provided the only service that we all can use. And the perspective seems to be like, oh, they gouged and took money out and they're like I said, someone just said they're extractive. And it's like, okay, well, use a different marketplace or trade over the counter and see how that goes. True decentralization, trade with someone and have them send you the money first and you send them the NFT or use a third party that's not OpenSea. Like they provided a service. Like Amazon is a service that it provides. Like if Amazon gave $1 million back and gave a whole bunch of money to their users, I wouldn't be like, damn, Amazon sucks. It's just, I don't know. Like it's not just OpenSea. It's a general thing in this space. I was talking to a founder just yesterday about this, where like there's a founder who was like, community is not even a real thing in this space. People are just, they're glad when you're making them money, and they don't care when you're not.
That's a disgruntled founder. I disagree wholeheartedly. They're just wrong. They're wrong. Now there are a lot of fair weathered fans, but you just can't tell me community isn't real in crypto Web3. It's the most powerful thing here.
Yeah, I mean, I think their take was like, there's tiny little small niche people who care, and the majority of people are just trying to get money out of you, which is like, and it's this founder who's like really smart, who I think had a really fair point based on an experience they had. But it's just, and again, I'm a believer in community. It's one of the pillars of the book I wrote, but like, I understand why they think that when you see stuff like this.
I'm just saying it's just, they're wrong. They're objectively wrong here. Like I understand the take. I understand why they might feel like that. They may not have a good community, but to say it doesn't exist in crypto is just, yeah, tell that to Rec, because the Rec community is just as strong as it was when the token price was 50% higher.
Yeah, but those people are still up a ton of money. Like that community that's up is up a ton of money. It's like if that token goes to zero, we'll see what happens. But I don't think it will, because
it has, though. It already has. It already did. It basically went to zero. They didn't leave. They just bought more.
Yeah, because it shot up afterwards. It wasn't quite as loud on the timeline when it was that low. It wasn't. But that's okay. I don't care. I like Rec. I like Rec brand.
Wavered. Like I've been in it. Like the Rec community hasn't really wavered. Like the
core wasn't all over my timeline when the token was lower. It was all over my timeline when the token
other people outside the community we're talking about, but the people in the community haven't wavered.
Right, but it wasn't all that. Right, I think we're saying the same thing. There are small communities, there are niche communities that exist that are very strong and love brands. There are people that come on when you can make the money, and when you can't, they leave. And that's what it is. Like, I get it. That's what the founder's point was that I was talking to, which is what I think it is. Like, a lot of people are excited about Rec now. I'm like, you and I are exceptions. I'm excited about Rec because they're building a cool business. And I think it's fun, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about the meta. A lot of people, like, wasn't all over my timeline and wasn't like the belle of the ball when the token wasn't shooting up and when they weren't. But they were also building a business that they didn't have drinks out in the wild yet. And so it's a whole different ball game. I think the drink business just changes it fundamentally. But yeah, I think it's, I get it. I understand why founders feel that way when the OpenSea announcement happens yesterday and I see the reaction that I see about it. It is, I don't know. Like, it's nuts to me that people are like, they're just extractive. They've done, like someone said, I think they've done nothing for the space just now. Like, the OpenSea has done nothing for the space. That is an insane take to me. But, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just think, like, I get it. People are saying when token for 6 months, but is what it is. Joey, go ahead and get back in here one more time. We can hit, I know we have some other stuff. I gotta poke around to find my list again. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, on the community thing real quick, I think you also have to look at how you built your community, right? Like if you built your community around number go up, we're gonna holders to the moon and all that stuff like that. Like, what can you expect? You have to, and I'm not saying this, I don't know this founder, I don't know how he or she built their community, but that, like, the fundamental basis of how you build your community will determine how your community reacts to things within your project, the timeline, etc. A lot of times the founders are to blame because the marketing tactics that they use in this space about number go up and we're going to the moon and airdrop this, right? You set these unrealistic expectations for your community, and then when it doesn't happen or it goes the wrong way, yeah, they all leave and get mad. Bye, buddy, love you. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think that's also, I know it's a new team. There's still baggage there. There's still a lot of people that are disgruntled with OpenSea from the moves they made and how they handled themselves and how they operated in the space from 21 to 24. And that just doesn't go away overnight with a new team. Like, it's just like that's real. That's just a real thing. And it doesn't need to be you. You don't have to agree with people holding grudges or being upset, but they did make a lot of poor, at best questionable moves. And they upset a lot of artists. They upset a lot of collectors. And, at one point it seemingly bent the knee to Blur and chase that game instead of just being a leader in the space. They became a follower. And that's not the current state, but I think there's a lot of people in this space that have a hard time delineating the two. And they're still holding that pin-up frustration, the pin-up disappointment, whatever you want to call it. It's just like, I think I don't think we can, like, OpenSea is very unique and very different than, quite frankly, any NFT collection, any token. Like, it's just, they had the pole position in 21, 22, and they fumbled pretty hard, largely by a lot of mistakes that the old former team made. And I think a lot of the good work that Adam and Klaus and the others there now are doing is they're getting it back to baseline, getting it back to where a lot of us would have liked to see them doing in 21, 22. And, what's going to get most people to forgive them the best is going to be a successful TGE.
Right.
If people get 4, 5, 6-figure airdrops, all is forgiven. If the token opens up and they fumble the TGE, and people who are, and the one thing that I think they really do need to figure out before TGE is how they're going to handle multiple wallets, because I know I'm not going to be the only one that's salty if I get basically looked as if no very limited historical volume because I used proper wallet hygiene and I didn't sell all my Grail assets out of a hot wallet. Like, that should be taken into consideration. I understand they don't want the farms and multi-walleting, but that's not multi-walleting, and it's very easy to differentiate the two, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I get it. It's just, and I understand the baggage. It's just funny. Like, we just selectively decide, and I get it. It's part of Web3. We selectively decide who gets baggage and who doesn't. Spencer says announcement Thursday. Everyone gets bullish. Everyone's excited.
What baggage
the best thing ever. Moonbirds. like, oh, well, I get it. Like, you just, like, play back the exact clip you just said. It's
but the difference is Devin didn't sell OpenSea. He just hired better people. Spencer's he has a fresh start. Spencer doesn't have baggage. Proof did. Moonbirds did from K-Row.
You really think if Devin wasn't at OpenSea and somebody else was leading, they'd be like, hey, all is forgiven and we wouldn't be in the same situation? I
do not think this is happening.
It is not that.
I do not think this is happening at all. But there's been rumors. Yeah, if someone like Luca if Igloo acquired OpenSea, they would be forgiven. They would. Like, it's not like baggage comes with the team and the people, and the leader is still there. He's still been there.
But Luca had the baggage of Pudgy Penguins until it took Luca a long time to overcome the baggage of Pudgy Penguins. People are still saying it's a scammy project. It's not real. Like, Luca had to overcome that. Spencer doesn't. It's okay. I get it. I like Spencer too. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm just saying we have different standards for different people, and it's just like
I don't think Spencer deserves any baggage for acquiring.
I don't think so either. But that's me.
Problems.
I agree.
He wasn't sold. It wasn't acquired. It's still the same founder, still the same entity, still the same leadership. Like, that's very different.
But you believe if Devin said, hey, I'm stepping down tomorrow, everyone would be like, hey, all is forgiven in OpenSea. We're all good. Don't worry about it.
I don't believe that.
Right. Me either. So that is.
It depends on how it transpired and who the acquirer was and what they said, what they did following the acquisition. What Spencer has done is he's rewarded that community multiple times in a very short period of time. So not only did he acquire something that did have a black eye, that did have some baggage, doesn't have any personally. He's made from most perspectives nothing but good, positive moves in this space with Orange Cap Games and his investments, and he shouldn't have any baggage. Like he acquired some assets and he's done good things with those assets. Very different from a multi-billion-dollar company that still has the same leadership.
Right, but again, so they've acquired a team, like you said. They've done better things since they acquired that team.
I don't care. I don't care. I'm just saying, I understand why people feel differently about OpenSea than they do Moonbirds. I can't even believe that is like a debate. They're very different spots.
No, it's a giant double standard in my opinion. It's a giant double standard for Spencer to say looks like Thursday and everyone's like Burbish, and for OpenSea give an actual product announcement and say we're on the final stage and singing it. And
OpenSea doesn't have a community. They're attempting to build a community, but they don't have one. OpenSea, Spencer does.
Right. Right. Exactly. It's bag. It's obviously there's bag bias. It's a funny thing to me. Like I said, we make selective decisions on who's okay. And I don't know. I just find the space sometimes to be kind of bratty and entitled about stuff where it's they give a product announcement, which I think is a good product announcement. And we're like, oh, you're only spending $1 million buying NFTs on top of using your platform fees to buy NFTs and use that to go back towards the reward system that you're actually buying. And it's I don't know, just not, I don't love it, but it is what it is. It's people want their money. I get it. They want their airdrop. It's just, I just find it wild that the takes that I'm reading from people that I'm reading right this second are OpenSea has done nothing for the space. OpenSea has been nothing but extractive. People mad at them because they built a business that made money and did really well, and that they're now participating in the culture and actually trying to lift up builders. Do you think when people like Spoiled Banana Society, I believe they were featured in an article on OpenSea and it helped them get more attention? Do you think they're damn, OpenSea sucks? I see that as valuable. Maybe other people don't care if smaller builders and artists get featured. I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they use their platform to lift up others. And, I
agree. But the people saying $1 million is low, they're right in saying that. I mean, relative to Pump Fun and Hyperliquid, they're doing $20,000 a day in fees. So they're going to spend $10,000 in buybacks, 10 grand. Pump Fun is buying back $1.5 to $2 million of their token daily. Hyperliquid, the same. The numbers aren't and OpenSea is a larger company than them for most. They don't have
a token to buy back yet, though. You just talked about token buybacks. They don't have a token to buy back yet.
They have presumably a 9, if not 10-figure war chest. 10 grand is not a lot of money. $1 million that they got seeded from Optimism and Arbitrum, it's not a lot of money. Not in this space. And so those that are saying it's kind of a drop in the bucket, it is. They're fair to say that. It's better than nothing, to Joey's point. They don't have to do any of this. I agree. But for those saying $1 million that you got contributed by 2 other chains, it's a sponsorship deal. They're fair to say that. It's not that much. It's a good step. 10K, $1 million is not much.
So again, we want people to work on behalf of their holders and go get stuff. They work on behalf of their community and they go get stuff. And we're not enough, need more. Ask Optimism for more. Ask Arbitrum for more. It's a double standard. It's well, God forbid that you have a successful platform, because if your platform's successful, well then, man, you better do significantly more things and significantly more work. I don't know. I find it I find it nuts how we think about money in this space sometimes, in that OpenSea buying NFTs is considered worse than them not buying NFTs to some people based on what I'm seeing. OpenSea getting $1 million from multiple chains is worse for people than if they had not done it, because it's not enough. Do you not see why I think that's a little bit silly? We're asking. I don't think
it's worth. I see them question the amounts, and I think it's fair. It's not that much money. It's not, and they have a lot more money than most protocols have. And the fact, had they announced everything and not doubled their fees, then maybe it's received differently. But it's kind of hiding a doubling of fees in an announcement that's. It's just not a lot of money relative to everything else we're talking about. We're talking about other leading protocols, leading tokens this cycle. If they want to be in that realm, if they want to have the success of a Hyperliquid, they're not playing that game yet. Not with what they just announced. It's not even remotely close.
Fuck, no wonder nobody wants to build in this space. Like, I get it. Like, man, I can't imagine being a founder in this space and announcing $3 million going back to the community and your TGEs coming up and a new reward where you're going to have more rewards coming up for people where people are actually going to tangibly get things. And then everybody's like, not enough, need more. But anyway, that's fine. Obviously we're on different sides of the spectrum there. I understand why people wouldn't want to build a business in this space.
Devin's doing just fine. He's a multi-billionaire. And so it's like, oh, we're going to go get other partners of ours to go give $1 million in this buyback. I think it's just like they've done it. They've made it. The founders has accumulated $1 billion plus of net worth in this industry. And so I do think they should be held to different standards than a startup that just got created 6 months ago. They should be held different standards. Like they've been there, they've done it. They've made it last cycle and they haven't given anything back to the community until just now. And that's how this space works. And if it's not them, the users are going to go elsewhere. If they don't do this right, they're going to lose a lot of their users that are just farming their platform right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're just on different ends of the spectrum on it, which is totally fine. It's what makes the world go round in this. And I know lots of people who agree with you as well.
Listen, I thought it was the most bullish announcement ever. I can appreciate and understand the critique of the announcement. It's fair.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. Well, I mean, again, we disagree on that one on the critique of the announcement. And how
their money. They're buying back NFTs with other people's money. Like, okay, whoop-de-doo. Thanks.
I mean, like, again, God forbid a company is successful, builds a good product, and makes money in this space. All that money must go back to people. It's just, I don't know. It feels like
all I'm saying is $10,000 is a lot less than $1.5 million.
I won't say who it is. Somebody just agreed with me in the war room and just said the entitlement is insane. So I'm not on UCAP specifically or anything like that. I'm just saying like the reaction on the timeline on it is what I'm seeing. But it is what it is. Like, again, people have different things. It's just I don't think they can do anything except drop a token and people will be excited about it. So, maybe on their sake, drop the token, let it tank, let it do what it has to do and call it a day, because I don't know. It's just not my, again, we're on different ends of the spectrum. I know you're just kind of giving the other perspective on this and you're not dogmatic about it. It's just, it's nuts to me. And I don't know, maybe I'm just like completely out of my mind here for my take.
I don't know another protocol that's taken in 400 million in fees and not given back to the community yet. 400 million in fees in 1 year and not done anything back to the community yet. It's just like it's a lot of money,
right? I mean, they have a TGE coming. They said that is coming. Like, so like money's coming back to the community and they're like, oh, we're also doing this other thing that nobody asked us to do that we want to do because we want to participate in the community and the culture. Oh, and we're also doing this other thing that's going to get you more rewards and prizes. Like, they are doing that. Like, that is what they are doing right now. And I also like giving back to the community is like basically people saying I spent money, so I deserve money back in this context, versus the way that they featured certain builders and helped elevate them and participated in crypto culture over the past, say, 6 months to 9 months. Like, I don't know. I get it. People want their money when token, it's there, but it's just, the way it's being perceived is, it's just like when people are like $1 million to buy NFTs, like, I don't know. Yes, they didn't have to do it and they're doing it. Like, it's good. Joey, one more time, go ahead and get in here, and then like maybe let's hit on the hack, and then we can kind of keep rolling on that. And then we'll do I got to get used to not saying other page, open page, in a second. But Joey, get back in here.
Yeah, I love this space, and I'm never gonna leave. And I enjoy building in this space. But the reality is, we have a warped sense of what reality is in this space. I mean, 2021 and 2022, and some of the stuff following, has just created almost a psychosis. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, has Amazon ever bought $1 million worth of like small business products just for the shits and giggles? Has Amazon ever like given back tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars just for be using their platform. Like, I don't understand why in this space the businesses are held to such an unrealistic standard compared to like what we do in everyday life. And maybe I'm crazy, but like it just doesn't make sense to me that we criticize the businesses here because they're not giving enough and spending enough and doing enough, but yet the biggest company in the world, Amazon, has done, I mean, outside of, you know, Cyber Monday and Prime Days and whatever, where they're still making money, right? Like it's just marketing, right? They're letting you think like you're winning because everything's on sale, but they're still making money, is their idea of giving back. Like I don't get how like we're so like warped in this space on like what these businesses should be doing for us.
Very different businesses. More warped because it's.
But wait, how is OpenSea realistically? How is OpenSea different than Amazon? It's a marketplace.
So
just because one's on chain and one's not,
it's a big difference.
How is it different?
It's a huge difference actually, because one is shipping and fulfilling physical products. One is not doing anything other than approving transactions. Like it costs OpenSea virtually nothing to complete a sale. It costs Amazon a lot of money to complete a sale. Not only that, they have probably the most.
Pay for Prime to get free shipping, right? If you don't pay for Prime, you don't get free shipping, right? Like nowadays, like with warehousing and like, so I'm not saying that like Amazon doesn't probably have more expenses than an OpenSea, but they're both marketplaces providing a service.
I guarantee you, the value I get for my Prime membership dwarfs what I pay for it annually. If you factor in not even my free shipping. In fact, I bet I've gotten more than my $149 or whatever the annual fee is back in just free returns. They have arguably the most liberal return policy in the world, and I've never had an issue. I just sent back a $100 graphing calculator yesterday, and within hours, the credit was in my account. They're losing money on that transaction, so much so they offered me like $25 just to keep it and not send it back. Like again, very different. I don't want to go off on this tangent, but to compare a digital marketplace to like the largest physical marketplace and the trucks and all the infrastructure Amazon has to have to run their business. It's just, there's so, and this is just talking about the distribution channel of Amazon, not AWS or anything else. It's just very, 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 very different business models. And Amazon gives back to their Prime members in the form of free shipping and free returns. And there's a lot of that stuff that if you add up, speaking for myself, it's probably annually 10x I get back in value what I pay for that Prime fee.
Can I return my?
And I agree with you, right? Like I agree with what we get at Amazon. I'm just confused as to why in this space we demand so much of businesses, but we don't demand that much in Web 2.
Because it's competitive, and if someone doesn't do it, someone else will. It's the bar that's been set. Is part of the benefit of being here and being early and helping these protocols grow and being beta testers is the beta testers get rewarded. Like it is what it is. Like it's just been that way. And if you don't want to participate in rewarding your early users, your brand ambassadors, and your beta testers, then I don't know, maybe on-chain's not the best place for you to launch in an attempt to get that sort of groundswell that can be organic marketing and grassroots marketing, because you have raving brand ambassadors because they were rewarded for being a beta tester.
I want to be able to return my my NFTs in OpenSea. That would be my answer. If I can return my NFTs for the cost I bought them on OpenSea, then I will. All will be forgiven. No complaints. Like, let me return all the things for what I bought them for and get rid of my my digital collectibles.
No airdrop, no TGE. Just take back all NFT purchases sold.
Dude, I would at their all-time high, actually, at what not just even what I bought them for, would be retire Bloodlines on that. It's, it is what it is. We'll see what happens on it. It is a look, I mean, we'll have an answer on this in about a month, and so we shall see what happens. I just, I guess my big thing is I don't know. Like, I don't even want to relitigate and kind of say the things. I just some wild takes I've seen this morning flying around in various chats, and so I'm gonna leave it at that and keep rolling on it. Cap, did you survive the hack, or did you participate in $66 worth of donations to one of the saddest attacks in attempts in history? what was your how'd that go for you?
No, I took the day off chain yesterday.
Same. I didn't click anything.
I just had nothing pressing really that I had to get done other than sending out these ape rewards, and I assumed that the community would forgive me if I didn't put our wallet and our precious ape at risk yesterday.
Yeah, there's it's funny. There was a I want to find the ICO Beast post because he posts a ton. But he posted something about I like this take on the hack here. So if people missed it yesterday, there was a hack. I'll read this basically. Oops, that's Infofies. You're not dead. You're not bad at it. It's a whole different topic. Basically, there was a hack, and although God, now I'm seeing the post was from Camel, so this actually might be fake. So actually, I'm taking it back. I don't know if the hack was unsuccessful yesterday. TLDR on the hack yesterday, though, so I'm not going to go into it because I don't know. I like Camel, but like just posts fake stuff now and gets a bunch of big X checks, so good for him. He posted yesterday to get an X check, you would need 5 million impressions per month, which was made up. And then he's like, if this is fake, explain the screenshot. Anyway, so basically what happened yesterday is there was a front end. Oh, actually, this is way better. Drew's going to explain it in plain English. I'm going to bring Drew up, then I'm going to do my best. And then Drew's going to tell me where I'm wrong. So I read through the announcements. Some were in plain English. Many were not. What I saw about the hack yesterday is that somebody deployed a front-end contract hack. So the smart contracts themselves weren't hacked, rather the front end of the contract. Meaning, and what it would do is it would have you, when you clicked on approving, it would send you a different approval to send your funds to a different wallet. So it wouldn't be like the normal thing. So say you were taking money out of Hyperliquid, it would say, oh, approve this transaction, and your money would go to a different wallet. From what I can tell, I don't know if it's true or not now. It wasn't super successful, but basically a bunch of people didn't say not to click buttons. MetaMask said you were safe. Phantom said you were safe. I didn't click any buttons yesterday. I have clicked buttons this morning. Everything has worked just fine. Looks like Drew is having trouble getting up. Yeah, so that was the TLDR on the hack. So it sounds like you didn't push any buttons yesterday. But it's kind of a scary attack vector. No, I mean, like people just popping something on where and kind of like a big proponent for plain English, sort of plain English, got Drew up now. A good proponent for plain English explanations on what transactions you sign, something I've been proponent of for a while, to be like, you're signing a transaction, it is going here, you're doing this. I want these companies to implement that, because yesterday was a great example of like kind of a scary hack. So, Drew, tell me if my explanation was wrong. I don't know if you heard it, but the TLDR is, as I understand it, there's a hack with some software that's used to develop to deploy contracts, but it wasn't the contracts themselves. It was the front end of the sites. It would send you an approval to send something to a different wallet. You would approve it because there's a lot of jargon in those and people wouldn't understand it. And then you would just send the money there. Is that what happened yesterday? GM, give me the TLDR on this.
Yeah, GM. This stuff can get pretty technical, but just like in layman terms. So, in the wonderful world of technology, they're called like NPM modules. So it's pretty much just software modules that a lot of developers use. It's all open source. And one of them, which got downloaded on average around 2 billion times a week, which is a pretty common one, apparently got phished. And then the hacker was able to inject malicious string into that module. And so anyone that then updated, if the auto update, which I hope no one auto updates their NPM modules, updated to that version, which was the latest, then that would replace the address that you meant to interact with, or the address that you meant to send to, with the hacker's address from a front end perspective. So like when MetaMask popped up, it would just inject their address. Arkham has a dashboard. They're reporting, I think there's about like 6 wallet addresses that they were using overall. It looks like they got a total of $503.59. Although I think some people sent some tokens to it just because there's a bunch of eyes on it. So, this could have been like absolutely fucking horrible. But
scary.
Luckily, just the way that NPM modules work and the way that big entities, kind of don't just auto update and they review for any NPM module updates. Pretty solid. And then I think all the security blockade and everyone else was pretty quick to spread the news. Ledger CTO, everyone else, and quick actions.
Not ready for prime time, not ready for the masses. It's also what stuff like this is why I think that for the overwhelming majority of people not here yet, that aren't builders, that aren't tech forward, so like centralized exchanges and custodying, their assets is the way.
I mean, like this happens all the time in Web 2, right? Like all the time. Just the difference being that, when it happens in Web 2, it's not like I click a button and there goes all my money.
That's it. I mean, that's why I don't think this happens in Web 2. I've never once had a fear over, oh my goodness, if I go buy something today, all my money could be gone because of nothing I did wrong other than the site's front end changed. Like, I guess, yeah, that could happen. Someone could hack Amazon's front end and any transactions they're swiping the money out of my account. I've genuinely never had that concern. And I had that concern yesterday. Like yes, fraud and phishing and stuff happens in Web 2, but for something to be blanket like this, where it's scary, man.
Yeah, it's I think it's one of those things where, I always note down and I always pay attention, and like this is the Web 2 side of Web 3, right? Like this, this kind of has nothing to do with, Web 3 necessarily in a way. It's just a centralized aspect that, everyone has to, use this kind of code, or everyone has to have a front end. But it's funny too, AWS also had an outage yesterday as well, right after this. So if any of our quote unquote decentralized exchanges platforms were also down, I think it was kind of intertwingled with this too, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, it's definitely something that, I think these things happen. And once they happen, then changes are forced to be made because, it's at their hand.
I'm not going to say who. Someone said they had $3,000 spent on Etsy on their credit card last week. The only difference in Web 2, you get it back. Also a big deal. And again, not singling out the individual, but they likely did something themselves to get that card compromised. Like it was likely a specific issue to them that their personal card got compromised, whereas not the case yesterday.
Yeah. I joked. I don't want to go back to it, but I joked. I actually responded to that person, said Etsy better give you or the scammer $5,000 back for that, or else Etsy is a scam. That's a nothing for creators and artists. Yeah, no, it is crazy. Like, it is one of the reasons why, and I actually, Cap, I'm curious your take on this. I've never been a decentralization maxi. I like decentralization. I like owning my money. I like owning things and playing around with it. But I also
same as an option. I love the ability to do it. I just don't think it's the path forward for like I don't think my mom needs to be self-custodying her funds. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't think my friends do. I don't think my mom does. I don't think it's like when we were talking about your friends at one point, you're like, what would you tell them if they're just starting to dip in? I'm like, buy the Bitcoin ETH ETF. And then if they're a little more interested, we can get them on. I had a guy at the charity golf outing I was at on Friday, and I was talking to him about DeFi. And he's like, I want to know how to start on this stuff. And I'm like, he's like, where do I go to learn? I'm like, I don't even know where you begin to learn. Like, I mean, I can tell you about crypto and a lot of things, but when you start getting into self-custody, it's like, I don't even know where to point people to learn about MetaMask and like really deeply learn and dive in and take like from somebody who just does TradFi a little bit all the way into Bitcoin, then ETH, and then DeFi. And then, like, how do you get someone along those paths? There aren't great places for that. And look, I had a friend who saw me talking about NFTs, got involved in NFTs, and immediately got smart woman. She got social engineered and drained. And that was the end of it for her. And it was like, this is like 3-4 years ago. I think I was still at Nestle at the time even. But it's self-custody is like really hard. Like I'm surprised. Self-custody is almost like the existence of humanity. I have no idea how we're here. I have no idea how we all just like went from a thing in the sea that crawled out of the sea that turned into a human, and now we're a human, and now we're here, and I don't know how that happened. I also don't know how we're all here in Web3 sometimes where I'm like, how was I ingenuitive enough that I have yet to get drained or hacked? And fuck, like there's been some close calls here and there with me and everybody else, I'm sure. Even the smartest and best people will have those issues, but like I don't know how we're here sometimes. So it's like when somebody asks me that question, it's like I can direct them to resources like, I can direct them to resources like, boring security and say like, hey, here's some security tips, things like that. The whole getting started and this person being like, I want to learn how to do this and I want to figure it out. I don't know how to get someone on that train without spending a lot of time with them and a lot of effort. But Drew, go ahead. I saw your hands up. Get in here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to like front run or spread too much alpha here, but there is some stuff we're working on at Boring Security for an on demand. So like basics, that's pretty interactive, and then some other DeFi stuff too. So I think that's something that we've been asked a lot, and we also kind of identified because even someone, it's like, where do I start in Web3? You go to YouTube videos. They're 5 years old. There's, they're all outdated. You need to have something that's updated like almost monthly. There's no go-to resource. Stuff changes. Everyone has different definitions. It's like there's no standards or anything. So it's something we've definitely identified, and I think that should be done this year. So yeah, you guys will definitely hear about it when it's all up and done.
I like that. That's what we need. We need stuff. Like we need more. I mean, like there's certain educational materials and I like certain ones, but it's one of the reasons why, again, like why I'm so bullish on a company like Privy. Like it's putting together wallets that people can use very easily. And then the companies can do things like back their assets and things. Look, I like decentralization. I like everything that blockchain offers. I think there's a place for it. I like it as an option in certain spots. I get where that self-custody and those things make sense. I understand where on-chain stock trading makes sense and on-chain coin trading makes sense and owning your NFTs and how you own them. But I don't know, like in other areas like this, maybe the kids will just get this because my kids in their Roblox world, they have self-custody effectively and Roblox doesn't return when they get scammed on stuff. So like maybe they'll get this growing up, but it's just not something that I see as a massive path forward personally, like for the masses. I think that it's good as an option, but for others, maybe not. Cap, what else you got?
JJ McCarthy might be him.
He looked like he sucked for 3 quarters and then he was good. So yeah, that was I almost bet the Vikings last night and didn't. So I'm glad I didn't.
He, I just posted a clip in the fantasy channel in the War Room, and yeah, he is pretty impressive, man. Like, wasn't going for him. Kept his cool. Pretty cool comeback on Monday Night Football, and yeah, good week 1 in the world of NFL and in college football. But I won't digress this all the way back to cold open material here. Other things on the headlines today. I pinned up top. If you haven't already hit the carousel for the rest of the week, go smash that. We got a guest joining us tomorrow. We'd love to have a full house in here. So go hit those reminders at least for Wednesday, if not Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So people still looking for the badge. Had someone said that CWC 99 wasn't working. I'm near certain that worked for me. It is CWC 99, correct?
CWC 99, yes, for 99. You got it.
And there is a Meebits activation coming on Ape Chain today. It appears, or maybe not today. I don't know the exact timeline, but there is. Just saw this come out. I don't know what it might be. Maybe it is. Pins is exactly what it is. Actually, the world is yours, digital and physical. So coming soon, ApeCoin / Ape Chain and Believer. I don't know what it means, but they did their upcycling program. That's now been completed, and they're going to work towards building a 2,000 Meebit treasury. Meebits are one that I've had on my list. It's just I've never felt like I have to have it right now. Yeah, I don't know if this does anything for you or not. Digital physical pins, but that's in the news.
I like him. I mean, but again, I'm a sucker for digital physical stuff, so it's cool for me. I like seeing that sort of thing. Also need go ahead.
Finish your thought.
I was gonna say we need to pick a 108th winner today. I'm realizing as well.
That's where I was going to go back to, is just show some of the other open page, excuse me, announcements. Congratulations to the team over there. Pretty stoked. We've been talking about it all morning. Turn your followers into super fans. Other page is now open page. The mission continues. The vision expands. We're not leaving anyone behind. We're opening the door wider. Open tools for everyday creators to turn your followers into super fans. The page is open, op.xyz, the home for creators everywhere. If you're a creator and you're not checked it out yet, you're sleeping on it. We are big fans. Obviously, this is powering our current campaign with ApeChain, and it will not be the last. So really excited for the team over there. They continue to ship and doing some big stuff. Absolutely love to see it. And then unrelated to the crypto market, at least yet, but I hit on it Friday when you're out a little deeper, and I'm patting myself on the back for having an accurate take on the Florida real estate market, Steve. This just in. I've been screaming from as loud as I can. At least
you've been all over this. I think, like, of all the non-Web3 topics we talk about, the Florida real estate topic, both here and if you think Cap's just doing it for the show offline, I was considering trying to figure out a way to invest in Florida real estate. Cap has me so convinced on this one. So go ahead.
My buddy joked, like, his dad was, mentioned in passing, they do you want to buy a home in Florida? I'm like, yeah, dude, now is the time. Maybe it's not now. Maybe it is still early. It could very well be a falling knife. But I'm not making this stuff up. The top buyers markets across the U.S., Florida is number 1, number 2, number 5, number 6, number 9, number 10. Like, the state is not going to zero, I promise you. But 6 of the top best markets for a buyer right now are in the state of Florida. I'm on number 10 here in this Tampa area. And I'm telling you, I'm not a real estate professional. I own an investment property or two. I've done some profitable flips before. I have one of my closest friends. He does this stuff for a living. So I've gained a lot of knowledge through osmosis, just in conversations with him over the last couple decades. I've never seen or heard anything like what's happening right now in some of these markets. And it's like, I have some offers out there I may pull just because I want to make lower offers. Like, it's like, basically, Steve, what I've done is I put some really low ball WETH bids, not expecting them to get accepted. Today, I'm going to go and delete the WETH bids and offer them a new WETH bid that's 20, 30% lower than the last one. Like, it is just, people are freaking out. Maybe things get worse. I'm betting that things start to change if we get 2 or 3 rate cuts this year and don't have another 1 in a 100-year storm hit back-to-back season. So it is just, again, I'll get off this, but I hit it on Friday. It said it is a good time to be a buyer, and I'm not the only one thinking that. 6 of the top 10 markets in the U.S. currently are in the state of Florida.
Yeah, that's look, I would potentially be looking if my kids weren't at a spot where they have friends and established, lives and all those things, because Florida's an appealing place to live to me. Like, Tampa in particular, I think Tampa is incredibly underrated. Great city. Obviously, if I had all the money in the world, Miami's the place, right? Like, if you're sitting on all the money in the world right now, I feel like Miami is a place that you want a house in one of those South Beach houses, like they have Art Basel things at. That's where you want to live. But but yeah, like, Florida's underrated, man. Florida's great. Big fan of Florida. So good call on the market there as well. For sure. So yeah, I got that one nailed down. Let's pick a winner for today. Who do we want? Joey came up, talked a little bit. I don't think he's gotten a win yet. We could do Joey.
Yeah, let's give Joey the win today. He well deserving, and probably our most frequent guest speaker, impromptu, helping us out. So yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, so let's go Joey. Joey's going to be the...
Unless he's already gotten one. I don't think so. Joey, if you've gotten one, we're going to skip over you and give it to someone else. But if you haven't got a one yet, I trust that you'll mint the badge if you haven't already, and we'll get that out to you today.
Yeah. So we'll get Joey. We'll get Joey Val's out there. If you're not out there, we'll find you. And then, yeah, like for people who missed the code today, the code is CWC99, as Kat mentioned a second ago, CWC99. It's OP, I believe it's op.xyz/claim now because they have updated their page. So op.xyz, I believe. I'm double checking. YZ/claim. Yep. op.xyz. They have a new, it is now no longer other page, although they need to change their header. It still says other page up there. It's open page. Open page. So you want to go to op, the letters op.xyz, op.xyz/claim. CWC99 is your claim code. So that'll get you done today.
Someone said it's case sensitive. The W had to be capitalized. I don't know if that's true. I don't think I'm near certain I didn't capitalize mine, but
I did not capitalize mine, and I did not capitalize it in the setup, so it shouldn't be. But if that's what you need, do your thing, make it work. But at least for me, that did not seem to be the case. But yeah, shout out to them for creating something a little bit different. We are in the top 0th%. We are only down to the Morning Ape now. We are now number 2 on the list. So Morning Ape has the top. So get your friends to join. Get your friends to grab some badges. Maybe we'll even make some fun ones that are a little bit different for people to claim and make some different full set fun today. But 75 claims today, lower on the claim end. But tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your siblings, tell your enemies. op.xyz/claim. CWC99 is your place to claim. But look, that said, I know we're at about 9:51. Obviously we have that. I think Tom Lee, said something crazy about ETH recently, or maybe about Bitcoin, but I honestly don't even quite remember what it was at this point because I feel like he's making a bullish statement every week, which I love that he's out there. You want to know the ultimate person defending our bags? The answer is Tom Lee. So that guy is out there. Let me see if I can find it. I want to say he said like Bitcoin to 200,000 by the end of the year or something.
I saw he's also talking at Token 2049, maybe. I think Singapore. He's one of the keynotes there. It's about a month out, I think, early October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. My next travel will be Ape Fest and then probably Art Basel. So should be a fun one. But
they also, the one thing that Tom Lee did is he invested in, or Bitmine rather, invested in Octo, OCTO. Did you see this?
I saw it. I'm not sure what it means.
So I don't know what Octo does, but it was an investment, and so there was also a WorldCoin deal. So he invested, there was a WorldCoin deal, and it sent the penny stock flying. If someone is more educated on this, let us know. 8Co Holdings, but it was up 3,000% on the week, 26.91. It went from a penny stock to $40.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It's awesome. I mean, would have been a nice shitcoin to hold right there.
I should find out more of what they're actually doing. Like, why did Bitmine invest in Octo? I don't know. Again, if anyone followed this and is aware, I'm trying to scan his feed real quick to get a little more of a why behind it. Yeah, he did say Bitcoin could easily hit 200K by end of year. The other thing that we should hit on in news-wise that we haven't touched on is I think it's fine, but I saw both sides of it, and some people like down or thinking like digital art's dead because Christie's is shuttering their digital art, their Web3 division, and I think it's fine because it's just not needed. It's kind of like we talk about like the fees and stuff they charge. Like, it was needed at a time to bring to like educate the traditional art collectors, but I don't know as if like you presumably they're all aware of it by now. They're all aware of NFTs, they're all aware of digital art, and they're either interested or not. And it now needed did an article on it or put out the scoop, but Shutter and its digital art department, multiple staffers been let go, including VP of digital art sales, major shift from auction house that sparked the NFT boom in 2021 with Beeple's $69 million sale. Article is live on Now Media. I don't know. Do you think this is a big deal?
I mean, if they're going to keep selling digital art and it's just not going to be a digital art division, then no. Like if that was the news, I did see this, but I kind of like glanced over it. It's like, I guess the point being, and I guess it's kind of what you're hitting on, is like, does it need to be a digital art division or does it just need to be an art? You just
look at that guy.
What's that?
There's
Scott. Look at that guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe I'm missing something, but big fees that aren't necessary in the world of digital art. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's more to it, but I just I don't think it's going to end up being that big of a deal either way.
Yeah. I didn't read a lot into it. I mean, obviously it's a big deal in the sense that like, does it mean they're going to sell no more digital art? I doubt it. So like, it's probably just rolling into there. So yeah, I did see that, but I didn't really get a chance to dig into the article. So, we shall see there as well. Speaking of fees, I'm gonna eventually I'm gonna try to get you to capitulate into Project X. Probably printed on not a lot of money, like $50 in fees in 24 hours, and I'm cooking again this morning. So some good pools out there, but I know you're playing the perps. Speaking of perps, are you putting in long? I mean, let me ask you this, because we're about a week out now. Are you going to start putting in some longs? Are you still a believer? ETH, Bitcoin, like you said, Bitcoin had a major, its biggest day for ETFs in a while, outpaced ETH. Tom Lee saying 200,000 by the end of the year, which by the way, also makes me feel like you talk about like impatience in this space. I feel like I'm impatient with the fact that I know ETH ripped, Bitcoin's chopped for about 3 months, but to your point, like when you go back on the 6 month chart, you're absolutely right. It is up a ton in 6 months, as is ETH. Do you think, if Tom Lee's right and we're just 200,000 Bitcoin at the end of the year, I'm going to be like, well,
I think there's a world where we might just head on this. There will be pullbacks. It's not going to go up only. But I think if you zoom out from now until the end of the year, I think it is in the range of outcomes that if zoomed out far enough, it looks like a straight line from here to 200K. I think that is possible. And yeah, to answer your question, yes, it's full risk on this week. I want to get bags loaded fully before the rate cuts actually occur, because I don't think it's fully priced in.
I agree. Like that's what's crazy.
Let me ask you a crazy question. What happens if we get no rate cuts on the 17th? Market's saying 100% chance of rate cuts. What happens if we actually don't get rate cuts?
Why would you say that?
Captain I had to put it in the universe.
Why would you say that? Chris Jordan, Captain Swingley, how dare you? I
don't think it's a possibility. I mean, it's a possibility, but I don't think it's. I would be shocked, and I think that could be bad, real bad at this point. Because while I don't think the rate cuts are fully priced in, there certainly are to some degree. And if we don't get them at all, I could see some pretty tough capitulation.
We're going to Goblin Town if we don't get rate cuts. It's so. Diablito, what do you do? Diablito said there will be no rate cuts. Diablito is just trying to it's the reverse jinx, It's like when I'm like, I mean, Ohio State, Texas, but even if we lose this game, we're still in the playoff picture. That's me, but I really am in my head. I'm like, we're going to fucking beat Texas. Man, I don't know. That would be bad. We go to Goblin Town, I think, if we don't get rate cuts. I agree with you that I don't think they're priced in. And the other thing is I find the consensus is always wrong, so who knows? Remember the consensus going into Jackson Hole was we were going to eat shit, and then all of a sudden they had dovish comments, and we went to the moon, and we had an ETH all-time high on Sunday, and the consensus was we're going to 200,000 Bitcoin, and then we dumped the following week. It was like the consensus trade was wrong 3 times in 72 hours. It was insane. So, in fact, we didn't have the stones. Remember before Jackson Hole on the show, we talked about opening longs? We talked about it. We're like, maybe I'll open some longs just in case, have a nice liquidation price down there. And then the ETH goes to an all-time high. So I agree. I think rate cuts are going to send the economy a little bit higher as far as when it comes to the stocks. I think when it comes to crypto, I don't think they're baked in. I have a couple of people who have told me that, including TradFi people. Then we get to chop around and pull back for a month because there's no Fed meeting in November or in October, right?
Yep. That's it. So after September, we don't have another one until November. That said, there has been some movement on the poly market chart. The chances of 25 bips decrease is down 7%. That's all shifted to 50 bips decrease. So it went from 87 and 10 to 80 and 17. No change, remains unchanged, but I think CME still has it at 99% chance of a cut. So basically the market has just shifted more bullish that we're actually getting 50 bips decrease.
Wow. All right. People really, so it's just like, this is happening. And it was funny because like we talked about it and we're like, I was talking about it with a TradFi person and they're like, Powell's going to cut these rates. Like, it was so funny. Like in traditional finance, people just keeping it real simple. They're like, look, the data doesn't support it that we should be cutting rates. They're like, Powell has an opportunity here where he could just cut rates and go away for a month or two, or he could not cut rates, get berated by the U.S. president for 2 straight months publicly, probably get a funny nickname, and potentially lose his government job, which is a good government job, or he can bend the knee. 25 bips really isn't that much of a rate cut, like compared to what rate cuts could be. It's like, it's a big one compared to what we've done now, but it's like, it's a small percentage. It does something, but he's basically like, so he can do this little cut, really just a little bit, and not have to deal with getting berated and potentially losing a good job or getting pressure to leave a good job for 2 months, or he could not cut and deal with all that. So I think just like all signs point to cut, and I don't think it's baked in. So I may do the same. I may open up my first ever longs in the coming, maybe this weekend, because we usually get a pullback around Saturday, Sunday timeframe, except for like that one crazy ETH Sunday. So that may be the move. But Cap, that said, anything else on your plate before we let everyone get out of here? Again, it's op.xyz, other page updated to I almost said only page, which would be a nice one. Other page has updated to open page, op.xyz, op.xyz/claim CWC99. Chance to win thousands of dollars just by doing that claim. So you want to get your entries. But Cap, anything else before we get out of here?
Just I agree with Eddie Crypto McCarthy. Even despite where he went to college, he does seem to have that dog in him. I was impressed. And go hit that carousel if you haven't yet. Hit the reminder for tomorrow. Would appreciate it. Special guest joining us. You're not going to miss that, and I would love to have a full house.
Yeah, I did McCarthy on that note. It was like I have as a Ohio State fan, strong take on the fact that he handed the ball off and wasn't good in college, isn't going to be good in the NFL. Looks like he might be, but I'm going to die on that hill. Other factors, had a couple good banana best ball performances. My 2 worst, I believe, are my Hall of Fame and jackpot drafts. So bad job out of me in the most important stuff. Still early on, but
what's a good? I forgot to even check SBS until you just said that. What is what's your top score there? What's a good start for week 1 on the?
I do have one that's 182. Which
wow,
I think is pretty good.
Wow, that is good.
So I got a bunch around like the 145 mark or 150 mark.
For what it's worth, my top is 152 over there. So 182 it seems to be. That's probably actually you can look at rankings. Oh no, that's not it.
Can't look at rankings just yet. Yeah, I have 18. Most of them are in the 130, 140, 150 range. A couple that are lower and pretty bad. And then I have a 182, which is I don't know. We'll see if it even here. I'll zoom in and we can see if we can decipher what it was in my lineup, because I'm guessing Justin Fields played a role in that. But yeah, got Rodgers actually would have been my QB this week. So Fields, Rodgers, Goff, Detroit running back. There's my Derrick Henry, Cleveland running back, Marvin Harrison. Baltimore, pick your wide receiver. Cleveland, pick your wide receiver. Buffalo, pick your wide receiver. And then a couple Dallas tight end. And I guess maybe the Jets defense potentially there as well. So not the lineup I thought was going to be absolutely cooking. I wonder how my lineup did. I'll have to check how my lineup did. That was the one that has King Henry and Saquon, because that's the one I'm most bullish on, because I also have Jordan Love and the Green Bay wide receiver in there. So very early on, a lot to go, but yeah, excited. Football's kicked off and we are rocking.
Yeah, excited to get things in full swing here, and should be another. I have no idea what's on slate for Saturday, but Buckeyes play Ohio U. Is that right?
Buckeyes play OU, who beat West Virginia.
Oh my goodness! All the prediction market people are melting down. Apple is going to raise iPhone prices despite tariff success. Apple's managed tariffs well, but expects iPhone Pro Max prices to rise $50 to $100 with the new launch. Shifting production to India will be a $1 billion headwind this quarter, but the move eases long-term concerns. Analysts note that 315 million of Apple's 1.5 billion users have not upgraded in 4+ years, creating strong upgrade demand even with higher prices. I'm one of them. Investor focus is shifting towards Apple's AI strategy for the iPhone 17 and beyond. Thank God. And yeah, I still am going to say I think their top may be in. Pixel's going to eat market share.
It's funny, like you said last week when I said, are they going to raise the price? You said, of course they're going to raise the price. If I had put that Polymarket bet in then.
Yeah. Again, talk about counter trading CT. Not knocking him. He's very sharp. He's a better trader than I, but I'm pretty sure Easy had a pretty sizable bet on them not raising prices. And I think a lot of people followed that. And it was up like, actually, you could still have time to get it in. That just hit. I'm going to go check Myriad right now. I can't make any USD bets still in there, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on, but this is like, yeah, like I'm more and more convinced that there is money to be made.
Oh yeah,
in these markets.
We gotta rip because it says they are, and right now it's 32% on Myriad, so we gotta rip out of here so I can.
Yeah, 31%. The no is still 68%. It's not. I mean, it's down from 80%, but it's not. They just get they're going to. This is free money. Like if you're on Myriad right now and you can bet USDC, go vet the source. It's funny because who I just had pulled up, they're sponsored by Kalshi, so they could be playing some funny business games there. But assuming the source is legitimate, and Apple did say they're actually raising the phone, this is free money on Myriad.
Yeah, I'm Googling it just to see if anything's come up or if there's any other sources. It says launching price today, so we will know in 5 hours if that's the case, if that's correct. So still time to get in there. But yeah, I might fire off even a small amount after the show because you're getting good, 3-1 on your money there. But
yeah, could use Myriad.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, let's college football, like you said, Saturday we got Georgia, Tennessee. That's the big matchup this weekend. Wisconsin's going to get cooked by Bama. South Florida, Miami. Can they do it again? South Florida is making a strong attempt at a playoff run. They absolutely housed Boise. They beat Florida in the swamp. So that's an interesting one. So some interesting matchups. College football is very interesting with the transfer portal. It's definitely given some teams the ability to get some great players to add pieces, but it's made it really interesting for a lot. So definitely going to be another interesting weekend for the kids out there in college football as we watch that kind of unfold. But yeah, man.
47 creeps got swept a little while ago for those that are waiting for an actual NFT season.
Maybe we shall. Oh man, we're down to 70-30, so I'm missing my boat maybe. 65-35. It's moving quickly there. That said, let's send everyone off into their day because I may toss a little.
Steve's got some prediction markets to go.
I gotta travel to Germany and sprinkle some money. Thanks everyone who came through this morning. Look, we'll talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.